So here I have the Derwent Inktense Paint Pan Travel Set. I have palette 1 and palette 2. You'll notice that palette 1 doesn't have a colour chart. Now, when I first got this, it just had a piece of foam covering the paint, and I think, I'm not entirely certain, but I think the colours were on the back of the box. And then when I got the second set, it had this lovely little colour chart here. Now, it's really handy to have a colour chart already made up for you, and I'm not sure whether the new set one will have the colour chart or not, but it's really nice little feature there. And you can now buy a set with 24 colours in one long palette. So if you know Inktense and you love it, you can go ahead and get 24 to start with. If you're not sure, you can start with palette 1, which has your basic colours, and you can then add a palette 2 later date if you want to. So all the palettes have the mixing palettes here. They have a little sponge to clean your brush, and they have a water brush. So they're very versatile. They're such a lovely little handy size to pop in your bag and take out and about with you, but equally they're so useful to have at home. I use a little separate palette when I'm at home, but if I was going to paint when I was out, then I have everything I need here. So what I've always really loved about the Derwent Inktense pencils is they're so highly pigmented and they have such wonderful vibrant colours. Now with the pencils you can use them wet as well as dry, you can paint with them and you can add water later, but I just like the idea of actually having the colours in a paint form as well. And if you love pen and ink work and you like to use pen and ink, I think you'll really like these colours. So they're all very light fast as well, which is excellent. So the actual paint colours, you can see they're very highly pigmented, lovely and bright. They're permanent when dry, and if you layer them up, they won't dissolve the previous layer. So they are ink-like staining and they are very light fast. So you're guaranteed that your work's going to last a long time and not fade away. The other thing that's really good about them is you can use them on fabric as well. Now, I've never used them on fabric. I don't really do any craft work now. I really just paint on paper. But I just really love the brilliant, beautiful colours. So set 1 has sun yellow, mango, poppy red, dark plum, mid ultramarine, bright blue, racing green, teal green, kiwi, burnt yellow ochre, natural brown and ink black. And set 2 has sherbet lemon, tangerine, scarlet, fuchsia, French ultramarine, navy blue, turquoise, light olive, Ionian green, red oxide, sepia and antique white. Now, why it's good to have a colour chart is when I was doing this little chart, I mixed up the colours, and light olive actually comes after Ionian green, but I just picked up the wrong colour by mistake. I didn't check carefully enough. I really love the turquoise in here, and I've just done my little squiggles on the back, and you can see you can get a great variation of colour depending how much water you use. You can have a very pale turquoise and mid-tone, or you can go really deep coloration, and that just makes them very versatile. Now, I've done a little picture here earlier. I'm not sure if you'll see my pen work on this, but this is a bottle brush that's growing in my garden, and I have got some pen lines. I've gone over, I did some basic pen lines before I painted, and then I went and did a few extra on top because I felt that the bottle brush needed a little bit more of the fluffiness of the bottle brush. And this background was just a piece of paper that I had previously made up, and then I decided, I should have just used the Inktense to do a background. So I've actually used some Inktense on a sponge, and I've made a background there that I'm going to use for a different picture. So there's lots of things you can do with this. You can just use the paint, you can use the paint and the Inktense pencils, you can use pen with them, and you can just be really creative. You can create lots of brilliant, colourful, ink-like pictures and really have lots of fun. Now, Derwent doesn't ask me to do videos. I imagine, although I've bought lots of stuff from them, they probably don't even know who I am. I just love Derwent, and I love everything Derwent, the paint pens, the pencils, and I'm just really happy to promote to everybody that they are good value. Whenever I find anything that I really enjoy using, I just want to share that with other people, because I feel if the more people that buy the product, it will keep it in circulation, and the more people have enjoyment just of putting colour down on paper and just messing about. So if you like ink, I would say you're probably going to like these, and just enjoy.